faith like a grain of mustard seed, he could say to this mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it would obey. In that way, how many of us have the faith of a mustard seed? Anybody? Anybody tried? Okay, some of us might try, but I don't know what will be the effect of when you say movies and so on. Okay, so today we reflect something about faith. What is faith? We all have faith, sometimes more than the faith of mustard seed. So what is faith? Letter to the Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1 says, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. So, assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Do we have that faith again? Let me ask. Do we? We all have, do we? We all have. Let me explain. Supposing you are going to a trip, airplane. How many of us went to travel by airplane? Many of us, most of us. And by train, almost all of us, yes. When we go, we take a ticket and we go board. And what do? We find a seat, don't we? Don't we first go to the captain and ask, excuse me, sir, do you have a valid license? Or do you have flying experience? Do we ask that? We don't. We believe that this guy has those credentials. And we embark our journey. So we have that faith. More than mustard seed, because it might be okay. Because we put our lives into their hands and we believe. That is faith. And also when we go to the doctor, or when we all, if I tell you, you all have spleen, liver. Have you seen your liver? Have you seen your spleen? Unless they create problem, we don't know about them. We may know about heart because it beats, or we may know about maybe lungs because we breathe. Other things, unless the doctor says your spleen, which control, filters the blood, is in trouble, then we know. Okay, where is it? It is in the abdomen. Okay, how does it look? We explore then only. Or liver, even though we hear that very often, unless there is a need for purification, because liver has that detoxing, effect. Until we get into any kind of trouble, we don't know much about liver. But when the doctor says, we believe. There is a part of faith in that. So, faith is there in all of us. So, what is the difference? That is what? So, there is 3 levels of faith, 3 levels of belief. So, belief, faith, we very often, say together also. So, we all live by faith and some kind of belief in something. And we don't look for disaster. Whenever we go somewhere, we don't think something bad will happen. We always have some faith. Yes, I take this journey, everything will be all right. I will be reaching the destination. That is there. So the faith, we put faith in people. So in that way, if somebody says God exists, we believe, or we believe, or people don't believe, they may say, so what? So it will be same like your spleen exists. Oh, is it so? So what? There is a piece of belief. We all believe that God exists. So that's why we are here. So that is part of faith. This is the first level of faith we can say. Is that enough? What is the difference? So what? Then there is another type of faith. we have faith in our partners, don't we? That we enter into a relationship. Or then finally we, get into marriage. And about friendship, we don't think as soon as you get into marriage commitment, you don't think about, will that person cheat? You don't think about that at that time. Okay? Or when you have a friendship, relationship, when we develop, we don't think about the disasters this relationship will lead to. Will he swindle or betray? We don't do that. We put some faith in that relationship. So there is faith in that. There is a second level. We just don't believe in something, but there is a relationship. In that we build. That relationship, we put our trust in a relationship. That is the higher level of faith. This is important when we understand the faith in God. And there is a third level of faith. That is what we heard in today's first reading. The prophet Habakkuk witnesses a lot of calm and speaks to God with great emotion. How long, O Lord? I cry for help, but you do not listen. Why do you not let me see ruin? Why do you let me see ruin? Why must I look at misery? What are you doing, God? Maybe Habakkuk did not know that the hurt can be part of a good relationship. He demands to know how the Lord could be so unmoved. Surprisingly, God answers in a lengthy and encouraging reply. The vision still has its time, he says. It presses on to fulfillment and it will not disappoint. This is important. If it delays, wait for it. It will surely come. The problem is waiting time. How long? How long should I wait? It may be sounding like reassuring. Okay, you have to wait. But wait for it how long? Our inside might scream, not yet. What are you talking about? Why don't you help me right now? This is now I need. We are delaying suffering, or we are delaying the benefit, or we are delaying all the things I need. When I am going through this, as he said, that is the piece of faith, relationship. When you have a solid relationship with your spouse or a friend, when things don't go well, we just don't walk away. We just wait. That is why Habakkuk was promised. That is why. That is why the prophets were struggling. They asked, Lord, increase our faith. We can handle it. Okay, increase our faith. My friends, if you look at the mystical tradition, in all religious traditions, even in the Catholic tradition, we have great saints like Teresa of Avila, John of the Cross, those are great mystics. And recently, Saint Teresa of Calcutta, whom everybody knows because of her charitable acts, they have been struggling in their faith. Saint Teresa of Calcutta, for example, she is well known for her faith and her charitable works. Towards the end of her life, she was struggling. I was asked, I'm struggling, I don't see you. I'm struggling. The mystical tradition, they call it dark night of the soul. So, night itself is dark. And when it is dark night, it is pitch dark. There is no light. Think of the moments we had in our own lives. Dark nights. Where are you hiding? Like Habakkuk. You may be asking, where is faith in that? And that is the answer God gives, faith will be, wait. So, faith is sometimes difficult. That is why St. Teresa of Avila says, Lord, why are you giving suffering to your people who believe in you? And it is said in an apparition, the Lord appeared and said, in her writing, we read, this is how I treat my friends. What? Then she says, no wonder you don't have any friends. No wonder you have very few friends. Yes, friends. That is the invitation that takes us all into a deeper relationship. That is faith. That is the faith we are supposed to have. That is the faith disciples were asking. Not just believing God exists. Everybody believes. And, we even read in the Bible, the devil believes in God. Satan believes in God. That God exists. Yeah, everybody knows. But how far is our relationship? That is it. Jesus says that if you have faith even as big as a mustard seed, you can command trees and they will obey you. Mustard seed. How many of you seen mustard seed? Okay, very few. If you ask Indian, everybody will say. Because if you cook, first thing you put is mustard seed. Okay? It is full, it is like a little bit bigger than the poppy seed. Just a little bit. It will be a round thing, a little bit bigger than poppy seed. But it will be completely full. It is not like any other seed. So if you put in oil, to check the oil, test the oil, you put some, once the oil is boiled, first thing any woman or men, if they cook, Indian men are not great cooks. So, they first put the mustard seed and it will pop with a lot of sound. There is no gap in that, even though it is a small seed, there is no vacuum or anything. It is complete, it is full, even though it is tiny. This is what the Lord is asking. Your faith may be tiny, have it full. It is tiny. We may be translating a different way. Oh, I don't have. If you get up in the morning, yesterday, before going to bed, you tell the tree, or even you wanted to move from your church to another place. You pray whole night, and next morning, if you get up and see the tree will be standing in the same place, and you will be saying, oh, how miserable, I don't have a faith. No. What Jesus is saying is, even if you have a small faith that is full, that will sustain your life. That is what we heard in the first reading also. So the righteous or the just man will live by faith. So faith, even if it is so tiny, let us have it full. That is what I said about the relationship. We put our whole life into trust and in a relationship. We don't look for disasters in relationships. But what happens when things don't go well? So that is the third level of faith. The second level we all have, if you are in a good relationship, you get into. Third level is really struggling. It is very challenging, not struggling, it is a challenging part. Okay, that is what Soren Kierkegaard, a Danish philosopher and theologian, you all may be familiar with. He speaks about leap of faith. It is a leap from from the known to the unknown. It is deep. He says, faith is holding on to uncertainties with passionate conviction. It is not just conviction. Oh, God exists. God will take care. Everything will be fine. Sometimes we do not see everything fine. I remember I worked as a chaplain. I remember visiting a patient in the hospital, not recently, some time ago. A lady, she was in her 20s. She said, well, I'm a chaplain, Chris, how do you feel? I hate God. Okay. How do I continue our conversation? Tell me more. That is what we are trained, okay? We are trained as, okay, tell me more. We are not saying, okay, you hate God, so I'm not coming and talking to you. No, we say, tell me more, So what? She said, I'm angry at God. Then she said, I was angry at God. Let me put it that way. Okay, there is an opening. Tell me more. She said, I married my sweetheart. High school sweetheart. We were together. We married around 8 years. A terrible accident. It was not his fault. At 30, he died. The Lord has taken him. I am angry. I am upset. It is painful. If I were in that situation, I would be also angry with God. You would be also angry with God? Yeah. Okay, so getting angry with God is not a problem? No. He's a loving Father. You could be angry with God. Very often people tell, oh, don't be angry with God. That is a relationship. When you have a relationship with your spouse, do you always say, honey, everything is fine? Sometimes you may say, honey, where are you? Even though you use the word honey, it doesn't mean honey. Okay. That's part of relationship. And she said then, yeah, I was angry with God. But now how do you feel? You still have anger. But I am going to ask him one day. You may say, whatever you did is right, but I won't agree with you. See, that is right. She said, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to have a conversation with you. And tell, what you did is not right. I'm going to still tell you. Because I am God. Friends, that lady could have just walked away from God. Oh, I don't believe in religion. Religion is opium of the people, all this nonsense. Why do we go there, even that conversation? Because, my friends, this is the deeper level of faith. Very often we consider God in a transactional relationship. Transaction, everywhere. Even in relationship, deeper spousal relationship. Transaction, I do this for you, you do this for me. God, I come to church, I pay my tithes, I pray regularly, I prayed for this so well. If you cannot help, then what's the point? Transaction. That is why Jesus very clearly says in today's gospel, my friends, beautifully says, after doing all these things, tell yourself you are unworthy servants. Is it very encouraging? You did all these things and say, okay, all these things you did, but still you are an unworthy servant. It's not very encouraging. Jesus says, that is where your faith should be. That is where the disciples understood. Oh my goodness, I cannot have this faith. Oh, increase our faith. This is difficult. Increase our faith. Because we cannot handle the demands of faith. So, very often, my friends, we feel entitlement in relationship with God. Okay, I have been behaving very well. And whenever, as chaplains, as I said, when we visit people who have, let us say, a cancer situation, sad. I never drank. I was always faithful. I was doing everything, eating healthy, doing everything right. Then why did I have this? This is our daily struggle. It is not, we are talking from somewhere. And the person, when we sometimes we might have gone through that. Some of us might have gone through that situation, It is not easy. That is why we ask God to increase our faith. Because faith is a gift. God loves us not because we earned it. Very often we feel that. It is a pure, mere gift of God. Unconditional love of God. It is given to us as gift. I have to tell also, in another situation, once a person said, when an elderly patient went through that, I asked, in spite of all these things, you appear to be smiling. What is going on? Does it not hurt you? Don't you feel upset or discouraged? And I remember she said, I know it is very hard, but I wonder if people do not have faith, how do they live their lives? Because I don't have that pain because I feel God is with me even in this struggle, even in this pain. I feel and I see the hand of God. I have only few months to live, but I see the grace around me. Love of God showered through people. I just wonder how do people live without this gift of faith? Friends, that is what we heard in first reading. The just man lives by faith. The faith of mustard seed. The little seed, when it is full, our faith may not be humongous or big or large. Little is enough. Let that be full. Let that be relational. Then let that be sustaining. And let us always remember that it is a gift. It is given not because we merit it. Yes, we do. We come to church and worship God. Let us not be transactionally relating with God. Yes, He is our loving Father. We can ask. There is no problem. Yes, we get upset. All those, but we have to go into a deeper level of faith, deeper journey into faith. That will really sustain us. That will really take us to the next level. Like St. Paul said, whether life or death, doesn't matter. Suffering, tribulations, or peace, don't matter anything. That is the highest level of faith. So I prayed, Lord did not give me. We all go through that, it is okay. That is okay. God can handle it. But that is not the complete picture of our faith. I don't know whether you have heard or read the poem, Footprints in the Sand. How many of us have read? If you are aware, okay, some of us know that, but many did not have a chance, then I will read that. And that will be the conclusion when we go through the difficulties in life. Okay? It is a Footprints in the Sand poem. I will read that in the end. One night I had a dream. I dreamed I was walking along the beach with the Lord, and across the sky flashed scenes from my life. From each scene, I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand. One belonged to me, and the other to the Lord. When the last scene of my life flashed before us, I looked back at the footprints in the sand. I noticed that many times along the path of my life, there was only one set of footprints. I also noticed that it happened at the very lowest and saddest times in my life. This really bothered me. And I questioned the Lord about it. Lord, you said that once I decided to follow you, you would walk with me all the way. But I have noticed that during the most troublesome times in my life, there is only one set of footprints. I don't understand why in times when I needed you the most, you should leave me. The Lord replied, my precious, precious child, I love you, and I would never, never leave you during your times of trial and suffering. When you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. Lord, increase our faith.